What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Tech and Tactical. Today, we have the Kershaw Atmos for review. I've seen this knife quite a bit, at least recently. You know, it seems to be a popular knife, but it is quite inexpensive. This knife goes for around $30, depending on where you buy it. And you know, it is a budget knife, so it's one of Kershaw's budget knives. It is 8CR13 MOV, and it is made in China. So this is kind of one of Kershaw's budget knives. And a lot of Kershaw's knives, before we get started, I would say that a lot of Kershaw's budget knives are quite good. You know, some of them aren't great, but some of them are pretty good. And this one, in my opinion, is a pretty good knife, certainly for the price point. I think that the one major negative, and you know, I really should get to that later, but I'll just throw it out there. The one major negative really is the steel. 8CR13 MOV is about the most budget steel that's still acceptable to put in a knife. It really is the bottom kind of tier of steel at this point, at this stage in the game. Most manufacturers are starting to use slightly better steels. I'm seeing a lot of D2s all of a sudden, so all these $40 to $60 knives are coming in D2 now, which is a pretty good steel. Certainly holds an edge a heck of a lot better than 8CR13 MOV. However, a lot of people complain that it's hard to sharpen or hard to get a fine edge on. If you go back and look at my Work Sharp Canyon edition review, you can see that I can get an extremely sharp edge with D2. I think maybe when they say D2 is hard to sharpen, they might be referring to like manual sharpening. But if you have a sharpening system, you shouldn't have any trouble. But anyway, I don't want to get derailed here. But so steel blade shaped pocket clip, and then we'll move on to specs. Like I said, steel is unfortunately 8CR13 MOV. The blade shape is really cool. You've got kind of a drop point design here, and you got a neat swedge. And as you can see, it's got like neat satin grind lines. The satin flats are really cool looking. So as far as like the blade shape, I think it's really cool. You know, it's like a gentleman's knife. It does have a little bit of jimping up here. And you can sharpen it the whole way back, which is cool, although it is kind of thick right there. But in any event, yes, you can sharpen it the whole way back. Handle is a really nice design. Very attractive knife. Pocket clip is deep carry, but I could not get it off. Because I put my pocket clip on the other side, as you guys know. I could not... You can see that one screw is like somewhat stripped. I could not get the screws out. You know, Kershaw, the Chinese Kershaws use cheap, soft screws and very strong Loctite, and I just could not get that thing off of there. But it is a deep carry, as you can see, and it does function quite well. You know, it kind of has like the right amount of hold there. Really attractive pivots. You've got the Torx in the one side. I believe it's a T8. It is a liner lock. The coverage is pretty good. Action's really good on the knife, so it's on KVT ball bearings. So a lot of these inexpensive Chinese Kershaws are speed safe. You know, they're assisted. This is on ball bearings, and it's very smooth. It is a very smooth deployment, even though the flipper is very tiny. But it's got enough jimping on it that you do get a good grip to deploy the knife. I don't understand this. The detent ball is so far. It's right here. So you got to break the detent ball. And I don't know why companies put them so far forward. Like, I don't understand that. You could put it right on the edge, and that way the detent ball wouldn't make... You know, you have to unlock the knife, and then get it past the detent ball, and then you can close it. And I really don't think that that's I don't understand why companies put the detent ball so far back. But this is one of those designs where, you know, it is how it is. So yeah, that's as far as kind of steel blade-shaped pocket clip. Let's do the specs. We'll throw a ruler out here. Looks like the blade length is just over 3 inches, or the cutting edge is just over 3 inches. Blade length's like 3 1/4. Overall length is right around 7. So again, it is a very small knife. I had no idea how small this knife was when I got it. Look at my Mannix. You know, it's not even close, and Mannix isn't like a huge knife. So this Atmos is quite tiny. It's a very small, very light knife. Again, gentleman's folder kind of knife. So let's do the weight. It is extremely light. All right, we are on grams. So I've got 56 grams, 55.9. Let's go over to ounces. It's under 2 ounces, 1.97 ounces. So it is extremely light, just extremely light little knife as far as that. So it's very easy to carry, very comfortable. In fact, I can fit this in my 5th pocket of like jeans, like that tiny little pocket that you don't know what to do with. I can actually, this will ride in my 5th pocket, which is cool. So yeah, very tiny, very easy to carry. It's almost like, I would say this is a small knife. You know, I think that that's somewhat of an opinion, but it is really a small knife. The fit and finish is pretty good. So for a $30 knife, everything is constructed pretty well. I think that they did a neat job with the contouring of the handle. I like that little carbon fiber inlay. You know, everything seems to be put together quite well. The KVT ball bearings are nice and smooth. It fits in the hand pretty well. It's not a 3-finger knife, but it's just barely a 4-finger knife. So it does fit in the hand quite well. Reverse grip. I mean, it's just small. It's just a small little knife. But maybe that's what you're looking for. You know, maybe you want to add a smaller knife to your collection. I do like the jimping on it. And then the jimping on the flipper tab is quite effective. It flips right open every time. Really good action. Okay, what's in the box? Let's take a look at the box. So it comes in one of these standard Kershaw boxes. I think this is really what, or at least all the ones I have come in this exact same box. So let's see. I don't think this came with anything. I think that it comes with that little, like, manual. So it came in plastic, and then there's like a little, there's just a little Kershaw book, like booklet in there. Yeah, it's this thing they put in with most of their knives. So yeah, not much to go over as far as the box. It's a standard Kershaw. Comes in that same type of box that all of them come in. So, you know, it's all right. It's a good presentation. Nothing special. There isn't any, as far as like how well, you know, everything kind of fits together. There's no blade play up or down or side to side. The centering is pretty good. So you can see that the centering is almost perfect. The lockup is quite good. So your coverage is pretty decent for your lockup. So I'd say, you know, other than this soft screw issue I had, I'd say everything else is pretty good. So let's go do a quick cut test. And, oh yeah, so one other thing, pros and cons. Like I said, it is pretty much all pros except for the detent ball being too far, and then the cheap screws that strip out right away are my only 2 cons. So let's go cut some stuff. All right, guys, quick cut test. We'll do paper like we always do just to see how sharp it came. So yeah, it cuts the paper quite well. Really seems to slide right through it. It's not really push cut sharp. Although, yeah, I mean, it does a pretty decent job. So yeah, it came pretty sharp, guys. Pretty happy, you know, with overall initial sharpness. If we want to go a little heavier duty, we got some cardboard. And it does a pretty good job. Yeah, it does a pretty good job of cutting right through the cardboard as well. And this blade is actually quite piercy, you know, because of the tip. So it pierces quite well as well. I do have a little bit, here, let's do paracord too. So here's paracord for you. Slices right through paracord very easily. Yeah, it cuts right through. Let's double it up. There's some doubled up paracord. And it slices right through that too. So yeah, it does pretty well with paracord. And then one last thing, why don't we try one of, you know, the seatbelt material that I have and see if it pulls right through that. I think it will. Yep. Yeah, pulled right through that without much feedback there as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, cuts right through. Does a really good job. As far as action, like I said, the action's pretty good. So let's do a couple opens and closes here. It like wants to fall shut, but it falls on your nail. So, you know, there's not a whole lot of weight to the blade. But yeah, if you want to just drop it shut, it's going to end up falling on your nail and either cutting up your nail or dulling the blade. Kind of an interesting little design here. So you see how there's that kind of loop there. It goes, that's what grabs onto the stop pin. So yeah, kind of interesting design. I think the design's really cool. Sinkovich did a good job on that. Really good looking knife. Little back spacer here. There is a little lanyard hole if you want one. So yeah, overall, I do like it. I don't know if this would be like my daily carry at any point, to be honest with you. It is a little dainty, it's a little small. But yeah, I mean, I certainly like it. I'm glad I got a chance to review it. We might end up doing this one for the giveaway. Especially since I can't switch the pocket clip. I might end up using this one for the giveaway or the Ganzo, I'm not sure. Please like and subscribe to make sure that you can get entered in those. And again, I've been, I've been enjoying it. So I do think it's a pretty decent little knife. I think for $30, it's a decent little knife. I do like the action. I do like that it's not speed safe, although I'm not a speed safe hater. I'm not one of these people that doesn't like automatic Kershaws. I actually do like them. But this KVT ball bearing is quite smooth, the way that it functions. So, yeah, thanks again for coming to another episode of Tech and Tactical. Please like and subscribe. I do have some other videos coming up here in the next couple days. So, just keep an eye out for those and later on.